Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are going to start with a ghost story.
Oh,
But don't worry, it's a corporate ghost story.
I'm intrigued. Is there a haunted printer involved?
Worse, you know this scenario. You're in a meeting room, or,
Mhm.
maybe it's a Teams call where everyone has their cameras off. Just those initials on a black screen. There's a dashboard shared on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and it is beautiful. I'm talking colorful charts, trend lines, sales figures up to the minute.
Yeah.
Everyone on the call is nodding. Everyone agrees the numbers are accurate. The data is clean.
I have absolutely been in that room. It's comforting.
It is comforting. But then the meeting ends, and instead of a decision, someone unmutes and says, this is great, let's look a little deeper. Or maybe, can we get a few more cuts of the data by region?
Ugh, yes.
And you realize nothing happened. The meeting was a seance. You summoned the data, but you didn't move the business.
That is the classic meeting where everyone nods. It is incredibly common, especially in the consumer packaged goods world CPG, but honestly, it's a plague across every industry right now.
It feels like work.
It's the illusion of work.
And that brings us to the source material we're digging into today. It's a really sharp piece called From Dashboards to Direction, the new standard for CPG decisions. It pulls together insights from C3 Centricity and the 2026 PwC Global CEO Survey. And it highlights this massive paradox that I think every listener is going to feel in their bones.
Which is?
We have more dashboards, more trackers, more always-on reporting than any generation in human history. We are absolutely swimming in data.
And yet, and this is the kicker, organizations are struggling to make decisions fast enough to win. That is the core conflict.
It doesn't make sense.
Logic suggests more information should equal faster, better choices. You know, if I give you a map, you should get to the destination faster. But the source argues that in reality, modern reporting just leads to paralysis.
And here's where it gets messy, because there's a new player in town making this paradox even more complicated.
Artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
Right. The prevailing assumption is that AI will fix the data overload. We think, oh, the AI will summarize it for me, it'll find the needle in the haystack.
But that's not what's happening.
The source argues the opposite. AI is actually accelerating the problem. It isn't removing data, it's multiplying it. It makes producing insights incredibly cheap, but it makes decision confidence much, much scarcer.
That's a great phrase, decision confidence. So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out how to get that back. We need to explore how to stop using data as a safety blanket,
The dashboard trap.
the dashboard trap, and move toward direction. How do we stop just looking at what happened and start deciding what happens next?
It is the shift from an era where reporting creates value to an era where direction creates value. And for the learner listening today, whether you're a mid-level manager or you're running a P&L, this is about reclaiming your ability to actually act.
So let's unpack this dashboard trap first. Because dashboards feel productive, don't they?
Oh, they do.
They update, they refresh, they have those little green arrows that make you feel like you're winning. It feels like work is happening.
That's the illusion. The source makes a really critical distinction between visibility and progress.
Okay.
Dashboards give you visibility. They tell you what happened. Sales are down 2%, market share's up 1%. That's visibility.
Right.
But progress requires a decision about what happens next. And often, teams confuse the two. They think because they're watching the numbers, they're managing the business.
It's like watching your speedometer while your car is in park.
Yeah,
You know exactly how fast you aren't going.
that is a harsh way to put it, but yes. You're observing the vehicle, not driving it. The source actually lists 3 specific ways organizations hide behind their data. It calls them substitutes.
Okay.
And the first one is using dashboards as a substitute for judgment.
How does that manifest? Because I feel like we always judge the data.
Well, think about the last time you prepared for a big review. This is when teams treat measurement as the work, rather than using measurement to drive the work.
I see.
You spend all week perfecting the chart, making sure the font is right, the data source is clean, but you never actually step back and apply human judgment to say, okay, but what does this mean for our strategy?
You deliver the chart, and you think your job is done.
Right. It's the admiring the problem phase. Look how accurately we've described the fire.
Exactly. What's the second one?
The second one listed is dashboards as a substitute for ownership.
This one felt a little personal to me.
It does for a lot of people. This is where those weekly KPI reviews come in. You review the metrics, you see the red flags, But because everyone is looking at it, no single person feels responsible for the fix.
It diffuses responsibility.
Totally. Oh, the group knows about it, so the group will fix it, but the group never does.
It's the bystander effect, but with Excel sheets.
Yes. And the third one, dashboards as a substitute for trade-offs.
This sounds like the most dangerous one financially.
It is. Strategy is fundamentally about what you choose not to do. But a dashboard creates a world where everything is equally important because everything has its own little metrics box.
You want it all.
You want high margin, high volume, high speed, and high quality all at once. True direction forces you to say, we are going to sacrifice margin to get volume. A dashboard just shows you both metrics and hopes for the best.
So effectively, the perfect dashboard becomes proof after the fact.
Yeah.
It explains why you failed or succeeded, but it didn't actually help you shape the future.
It becomes a rear-view mirror that you stare at while driving off a cliff.
Okay, now let's bring in the chaos agent, AI. You mentioned earlier that AI is making this worse.
Yeah.
But isn't AI supposed to be the smartest analyst in the room? I mean, I use it to summarize emails, write drafts. It feels like it helps.
It helps with tasks, sure, but does it help with value? There's a statistic in the source that, it just stopped me in my tracks.
Oh, yeah.
It's from PwC's 2026 Global CEO Survey. They found that 56% of CEOs report no significant financial benefit from AI so far.
Wait, hold on. 56%. We're years into the AI boom. Trillions of dollars of investment. Every company has an AI strategy.
I know.
And over half of CEOs are basically saying, we bought the shiny toy, and it hasn't made us any money.
It sounds crazy, right? But we have to ask why. The source argues it's because AI collapses the costs of producing output.
Right.
Surveys, summaries, analysis, first drafts, AI can churn these out instantly. But just because you can produce 10 versions of an analysis in the time it used to take to do one doesn't mean you're making better decisions.
They're just generating more noise.
It's like if you have a noisy room, AI just handed everyone a megaphone. It's productivity without discipline.
And it introduces a new risk.
A huge risk. Fast answers, wrong decisions. See, AI rarely fails by being glitchy or obviously wrong. It fails by being plausible. It gives you a clean story, a confident conclusion.
A chart that looks professional.
Exactly. But it might miss the nuance. The source calls this quiet failure.
Quiet failure? That sounds ominous. What does that look like in the real world?
Well, in CPG, it's dangerous because the feedback loop is so slow. Think about a promotion strategy. AI looks at the historical data and says, this promo drives huge volume. So you run it.
And the numbers look great.
On day one, yeah. But the AI missed that you just pulled volume forward from next month. You didn't grow the category. You just cannibalized your future sales.
Or I'm thinking about product testing. If you ask an AI, do consumers like this concept? It might look at the sentiment analysis and say yes.
Right, but the AI misses the usage reality. Maybe the packaging is impossible to open. Maybe the resealable zipper breaks every time.
So the data says high purchase intent, but
the reality is zero repeat purchase. The dashboard will eventually show the failure, but only months later after the P&L has absorbed the cost.
So we have the dashboard trap, and we have AI accelerating the noise, creating these quiet failures. The solution, according to the source, is this concept of direction. It sounds simple, but how is direction different from just having a plan?
It's a pivot in mindset. Reporting says, here is what we found. Direction says, here is the decision and here is the evidence. That order matters. The source lays out 5 non-negotiables for true direction.
Let's run through them. Number 1 is a stated decision.
This means killing the soft language. We see this all the time in corporate decks. Monitor situation, explore options, continue to assess. No. Direction is binary. Launch, delay, cancel, increase price, hold price. It uses a hard verb.
I definitely use monitor situation when I don't know what to do. It buys you another week.
Exactly. It buys time, but it costs momentum.
Okay, number 2, a single truth. This one seems hard because nothing is ever just one thing, right?
It feels that way, but effective leaders cut through the noise. You don't need 50 data points to justify a decision. Usually there is one piece of evidence that tips the scale.
Like what?
We are raising the price because our raw material costs went up 12%. That's it. Everything else, competitor pricing, consumer sentiment, is just context. Find the one truth that changes the call.
If you have 10 reasons, you probably don't have a decision yet.
Exactly.
Number 3, a trade-off. We touched on this, but it bears repeating.
You have to explicitly name what you are giving up. If you don't name the trade-off, Leadership gets surprised later. If you say, we are choosing speed, you have to explicitly say, and that means we are accepting a higher risk of error.
You have to sell the sacrifice, not just the benefit.
You do. Number 4, an action within days.
Not revisit next quarter.
No. If it's real direction, there is a next step executable this week. Even if it's just brief the agency or kill the SKU, it has to be immediate.
If the next step is schedule a meeting, it wasn't a decision.
It was not a decision. And finally, number 5, ownership.
Someone's name has to be next to it.
Yes. If no one owns the outcome, it's just dashboard theater.
Dashboard theater.
Yes.
That's a great phrase. It's all just a performance unless someone is on the hook.
Precisely.
Now, I don't want to paint AI as the villain here completely, because the source actually gives some really cool examples of AI being used for direction, not just reporting. It can be done.
Absolutely. The key is that in these success stories, AI accelerates the analysis, but humans define the decision.
Let's talk about the Unilever example, the smart freezers. This sounds a bit sci-fi.
It's fascinating. So Unilever used AI-enabled freezers in different markets. The tech gave them incredible visibility into stock levels, real-time data on what ice cream was where.
But the value wasn't the dashboard showing ice cream levels are low.
No. Knowing you're out of stock doesn't fix it.
Right. It just makes you anxious.
The value was in the replenishment decisions. The AI helped them decide exactly what to prioritize for restocking, what stays available when demand spikes.
And the results.
They saw sales increases of 8%, 12%, even 30% in some markets. They didn't just report on the freezers. They used the data to direct the trucks. It was operational, not just informational.
That's a huge difference. It's logistics, not just analytics. There was also a Heineken example. Allocation AI.
This deals with marketing spend, which is high stakes. You have a portfolio of brands across different countries. Where do you put your dollar?
The $1 million question?
Yeah.
Or $1 billion,
Yeah.
probably.
Heineken built an assistant to optimize this. It calculated thousands of scenarios. But, and this is the crucial part, the humans defined the trade-offs. The humans said, we want to prioritize brand X in market Y. The AI just did the heavy math to say, okay, here's the best way to do that.
So the lesson is, humans set the destination. AI navigates the traffic.
Perfectly put. AI is the engine, not the driver.
This brings us to the part of the source that I found most reassuring, but also most challenging. If AI makes the output cheap, if it can write the reports and crunch the numbers, how do we, the humans, stay valuable? The source lists 7 foundations or moats that humans still hold.
This is vital. Because the old moats like knowing how to use the complex software, knowing the methodology, those are gone. AI does that now, so we have to look at what's left.
The things the robot simply cannot do.
Right.
Let's go through these because I think a lot of people are worried about their relevance. The first one was agreed metrics, which sounds bureaucratic, but why is it a human moat?
Because metrics are political. An AI can calculate a number, but it can't get the sales VP and the marketing VP to agree that it's the right number.
We've all been in meetings where we argue about the formula instead of the strategy.
All the time. A human's ability to create internal trust, to say, this is the currency we are trading in, that is a uniquely human diplomatic skill. AI can't negotiate trust.
That makes sense. Another one was trust is risk cover.
This is about accountability. When things go wrong, and they will, you can't fire an algorithm.
You can't put an AI on a performance improvement plan.
Exactly. Leaders need a human to look them in the eye and say, I believe this is the right call, and I will stand by it. That ability to absorb risk is something only a human can offer.
Then there is category context.
This is about the nuances. AI is a generalist. It knows marketing, but it doesn't necessarily know the specific internal politics of a retailer like Walmart or Tesco.
Right.
It doesn't know that you shouldn't launch a specific product during Chinese New Year in a specific region because of a cultural taboo unless it's explicitly trained on it. Humans understand the game behind the numbers.
Okay, the fourth one is verified human truth.
As synthetic data grows, this becomes premium. AI is training on AI content now. It's becoming an echo chamber.
So it's just repeating itself.
A human who can go out, talk to a real person, and bring back a verified truth, I saw this happen with my own eyes, that is going to become incredibly valuable. It's the difference between a simulation and reality.
And governance and compliance, which sounds incredibly boring, but the source frames it as a competitive advantage.
It is. In a world of AI hallucinations, being the person who can say, I verified this, this is compliant, this is safe, is huge. It's not just box checking anymore, it's protecting the company's existence.
The network value. This one is about connecting silos, right?
Exactly. AI tends to work in verticals. It optimizes marketing or it optimizes supply chain. But in CPG, those things conflict.
All the time.
Marketing wants to run a promo. Supply chain says, we don't have the cardboard for the boxes. A human leader sees the horizontal connection. They can walk down the hall and say, hey, if we do this, it breaks that. AI struggles with that horizontal view.
And the last one, which jumped out at me as a killer app for humans, was physical verification.
Yes, we live in the physical world. AI cannot taste the new cookie recipe. It cannot handle the packaging to see if it rips.
Again, watch a consumer struggle to open a box in their kitchen.
It can't. That physical sensory truth is something AI cannot hallucinate. If you can bring that physical reality into the boardroom, literally bring the product in and put it on the table, you beat the data every time.
That is such a powerful image.
Yeah.
Bringing the physical reality into a digital meeting.
It grounds everything.
Yeah.
It stops the debate about the chart and starts the debate about the product.
So if I'm a mid-level leader listening to this, someone who sits right where strategy meets execution, what do I do tomorrow? The source gives us an action plan with 3 strategic shifts.
These are practical Monday morning actions.
Shift number 1. Brief for the decision, not the output.
This is a communication change. Stop asking your team or your agency for information. Don't say, give me a report on the coffee category.
Instead,
Say, we need to decide whether to launch a dark roast next year. Give me the evidence to support a yes or no.
so you frame the request around the decision you need to make, not the topic you want to learn about.
Exactly. It forces the analysis to be relevant. It stops the boil the ocean research project.
Shift number 2. Present trade-offs, not findings.
When you go to your boss, don't give them a list of observations. Sales are up, traffic is down, customers like blue. That's noise.
What do you do?
Go in and say, to hit our volume target, we need to increase promo spend, which means sacrificing 2% margin. Do we commit to that?
That feels scary. It puts you on the line.
It does, but it also makes you a leader. You aren't just a reporter of news, you are an architect of the business. You are defining the choice architecture.
And shift number 3. Use AI for speed, humans for judgment.
Use ChatGPT for the first draft. Use AI to scan the patterns. But use your human brain for the constraints, the retailer reality, the supply chain limits. Don't let AI decide, let it process.
The source also suggests a quick audit you can do on yourself. Look at your last 3 pieces of work.
Right. Ask yourself, did a decision happen earlier because of this work? Was a risky action avoided? Did execution actually improve?
And if the answer is no,
If the work just resulted in a nice discussion or interesting context, then it might have just been theater.
wow.
It might have been expensive entertainment for the leadership team.
Ouch. It's a tough mirror to look into. Was it work or was it expensive entertainment?
It's a provocative thought. But remember, the goal isn't to feel bad. It's to recognize that output is abundant now. Anyone can make a chart. Decision confidence is scarce. If you can be the person who brings confidence to the room, who says, here is the direction, you become indispensable.
That's the aha moment for me. We need to stop equating busy with effective. Just because the dashboard is flashing doesn't mean we're moving.
Move from activity to outcomes. That's the new standard.
Well, that gives us plenty to think about before our next meeting. Next time you're staring at a slide full of numbers and everyone is nodding, maybe be the one to raise your hand and ask, so what is the decision?
And see what happens. It might get quiet, but it will be a productive quiet.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive. Go be decisive. We'll catch you next time.